Hi there, welcome to the Gardens and Graveyard channel. My name is Charisma and today we're meeting in the studio and we're going to repot these plants. So I have a ponytail palm here, which is not a true palm. It is just time to replant her. She's doing pretty good. She's got a little dead foliage on her. It's just time to clean her up, get her cleaned up and repotted. I pulled her container out the other day and I can see little roots coming out of all the holes, so that's how I know it's time to repot her. This is my walk of shame. So we did this terrarium last winter and it was super fun, and I completely forgot that the money plant, which is all this pretty dead foliage, was in a separate container. So when I was watering it, I wasn't paying attention to watering the container. I just thought all the soil was getting moist. So, yeah, not the best. So I kind of want to just start with this one, and then this one will be super easy to take care of in a few minutes. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off the decorations, which is a couple of fun rocks. And I've done a couple of these before. This was a cemeterium. So they had these little tiny headstones in them. It wasn't as effective in this container as I've had in other containers, so we'll have to do it again with something else. Anyhow, all right, and then I'm going to try to take out this pad by itself and carefully take all of these things. Yeah, it's not good. Not good at all. Really highly doubt that it's gonna bounce back, but we're just gonna take off all the yellow foliage. We're gonna give it some new soil. Like this one got broken. That's not nice. Okay. Yeah, okay. And then I'm gonna just untie this tie thing that's holding the braid together and remove the ones that are the canes that are clearly dead. Oh my goodness. Okay. Can I just... All right. Like this one. Dead and rotten. This one. Dead and rotten. This one. Dead and rotten. All right, so now we just have the two. That's fine. And I want to bump it up. It's got some roots coming out the bottom. This is trash. So I'm just going to bump it up a tiny bit. And I'm actually going to use a cactus and succulent soil on this. And you can see just this. And a little bit of organic potting soil. That'll just help it retain some moisture, but it'll also facilitate quick draining. I'm going to put a little bit of water on this so that the soil is moist when I plant it. That'll dry it out. Pretty moist anyway, but just make sure. All right, and then we're gonna put soil in there, make a little well, and I'm gonna try to not disturb the root balls too much because it's already in so much stress. So we got that there. And it is circling a tiny bit. Is that that's a rubber band. I hate that. Okay. I suppose that's because they're trying to braid it, but I don't like it. So I'm gonna take the rubber band off, cut through it. Goodness gracious, there's two. Okay, so there's lots of roots coming out here. So hopefully, I'm just gonna try to center these in the middle. And then we'll put some fresh soil around where the roots are. I'm gonna make sure that get the roots all the way underneath soil. I want to make sure it's all the way around the roots. There we go. All right, and then because I do want to encourage it to have a little architectural structure like it was intended, you know, even though I don't have all the pieces anymore, I'm going to grab just a soft plant tie and gently hold them together like that. Okay. I think she's going to be a lot happier. And I'll be able to clearly see where her roots are and she won't get ignored as much anymore. Oh. Okay. And then I do want to water it in and make sure that the soil's all settled down around her roots. And then I'm going to go ahead and top dress with just some rock, some decorative rock, just to give her a little bit of sexy. So there we go. That is that. These plants, why I wasn't paying attention, I have no idea. But these are all cyclamen, which can go out into the garden outside. So I am going to leave these alone for now. Maybe take out the ones that are a little bit crispy, and remove any like dead foliage in there. Pull out the rest of the headstones. And then once this little spell of frost is over, as we are experiencing some frosty evenings right now, just for the next few days, we're blessed to grow in an environment that does not get snow and frost for very long periods of time. So now that I remember exactly what these were, I thought these were arrowhead starts. So that's why I wasn't paying attention, but you can kind of see where I thought they were arrowhead starts, right? Anyhow, I'm going to set this to the side, and we will slowly introduce it back out into the garden, and then plant them out in the garden bed. Mostly super happy that the money plant, I mean, already looks so much happier. I know these leaves are a little distressed, but there's a lot of new little bits of growth right there. So as soon as those start pushing actual leaves, I'll take out that older leaf. All right, so now let's take a look at this beautiful plant, and let's get her in a bigger container. We just want to go up one size because they do tend to like to be in a little bit root bound, but clearly not with its roots coming out the bottom. So first I'm going to clean it up. So there's a little bit of dead down here. We could just pull them off. This plant tends to do this in the winter time. I'm not worried about it. It's kind of, all plants kind of go through their shedding period. When you do want to worry about it is when the top ones are doing that. Oops, sorry. Middle. All right. And I was noticing that there's a little baby Christmas cactus right here. And it has roots. This must have been, there's a Christmas cactus that lives right above it. So one of her leaves must have fallen off and rooted in here. So that's kind of fun. I might just pop this back into that plant when we're done here. Okay. So I have a little bit of that succulent potting soil combination here. I'm just going to leave that. It's fine. And mix the rest of that potting soil in. I might need a little bit more. Yeah, well, she just come. I didn't water her for a couple of extra days. I left it without water so that we can do this easier. I'm just gonna take out some of this. Okay. There we go. And need to add more soil. Okay. I don't know. So these plants like that base of their trunk to be up out of the soil, so I want to make sure that I don't bury it too low. All right, so I kind of did a little bit of layering as far as adding, I mixed succulent and potting soil, and then I added some potting soil, and then I added some succulent soil as we went along. Plenty of drainage. I think it prefers a little bit more drainage. It likes to dry out in between times, but it will get little dead tips if it dries out too much. It's a little bit finicky like that. I tend to want to do this all the time, and she really doesn't like it, so I try not to have her in a place that I will be inclined to do such things. I also adjusted the trunk so that it's a little bit more centered and not curving so much. It's kind of always hard to determine which way to plant it because it's misshapen. We'll see if it, I think it'll fit back into this container. Let's see. Fits in here. I think it will if we take out the staging. All right, well, I can't find a drip tray to fit it, so I'm just gonna set it down in there and call it good for now. It'll get lifted slightly once a drip tray is in there. And there's not really room for moss, so I'm just gonna put some decorative rock on top after I water it in. So we want to make sure the roots are all watered in. And I don't think I have room for this. I'd really rather have the moss in that area in the house. So let's see if I can make it work. Well, my camera shut off just as I was finishing up putting moss around this ponytail palm, but we got moss around it. We got it watered in. I watered it in with some fertilizer. I don't always use fertilizer in the wintertime on my plants, on my house plants, but when I transplant them, I like to give them a little extra juice. I don't remember if I talked about this before, but this plant here has a little bit of damaged leaves on this cane, but it also has a bunch of little growth points. So as soon as that starts producing leaves, I'll take this old leaf off and, you know, just keep my eye on it, and hopefully it doesn't shock too much and it forgives me for ignoring it, and I will be able to take better care of it from this point on. Yeah, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're celebrating your life, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.